Please rise if you are able for the graduate procession. Please remain standing until the graduates have been seated.
Please be seated.
What are you guys using?
Please rise if you are able for the academic procession.
In the toil of thinking, in the serenity of books, in the messages of prophets, the songs of poets, and the wisdom of interpreters, in discoveries of continents of truth, whose margins we may see. We delight in free minds and in their thinking, in the majesty of the moral order, in the faith that right will triumph, in the courage given us when we ally ourselves to truth in any form, in the privilege of being co-workers in good causes. We celebrate the unseen goals, and we share and serve. Let us build a world safe from war and oppression, free and satisfying, one that ultimately furnishes answers for us all. Please be seated.
Good afternoon. What a pleasure it is to welcome all of you, graduates, families, friends, colleagues, and distinguished guests, to this wonderful moment, a moment that captures the enormous achievements of our graduates and that also turns us toward all that comes next. I am Nadia Burton, Associate Dean of the Faculty of Community Services. Before we begin, I'd like to acknowledge the land on which we're celebrating today. Toronto is in the Dish with One Spoon territory. The Dish with One Spoon is a treaty between the Anishinaabe, Mississauga, and Haudenosaunee that bound them to share the territory and protect the land. Subsequent Indigenous nations and peoples, Europeans, and all newcomers have been invited into this treaty in the spirit of peace, friendship, and respect. As we gather today to celebrate this extraordinary moment in the lives of our students, now graduates, I want to acknowledge the hard work that went into getting here. This has not been an easy year. I know that many in our community have been impacted in very deep ways by the injustices that continue in our world. And I know that for some of us, it can be difficult to celebrate and cross the stage today when so many others will never be able to. I hope we can hold in our hearts today all those students who should be crossing stages who will never do so. May there be peace in our time. To those of you here today, walking this stage, you have worked hard and studied hard to get here, and TMU is proud to know that our graduates have earned their place amongst those who work for justice and who will go on working hard to create equitable and kind and just communities. We also want to acknowledge and give thanks to those who supported our graduates, families, friends old and new, teachers and mentors. Our students could not have done it without you, and they and we are grateful. We also acknowledge that many of our graduates today come back to their studies after years of professional practice, that many of you studied while working, caring for children and families, have traveled long distances to and from campus, and have engaged in so many of the extracurricular activities that make time at university meaningful. We salute your spirit and your determination, and we celebrate the new connections and relationships that formed during your time with us here at TMU. This moment is about joy, excitement, laughter, perhaps a little bit of relief too. We don't always know what comes next, but I'm confident that with the degree you've earned, the relationships that you've built, and the experiences that you've had, that you're well equipped to go out into the world and to be part of making it a better place for everyone. Congratulations to all of you. I am truly proud to share this moment with you. And to begin this very special day, I introduce to you the Chancellor of Toronto Metropolitan University, Janice Fukakusa.
Graduates, I am proud and very honored to speak to you. Today is a time of very well-deserved celebration. We share our pride in your success with everyone whose love and support has played a part in bringing you here today. You have all been through a remarkable experience. You endured a pandemic, and you succeeded by remaining committed to your studies and overcoming unforeseen obstacles. We are so proud of your achievements as you are now all here to celebrate your graduation. And remember, never stop learning. You all will have a lifetime of accomplishments. The best way to achieve that is to cultivate your curiosity, because embracing opportunities and new challenges will expand your horizons and take you to places that you've never imagined. As you navigate your career path, remember that your work is going to fill a large part of your lives. The only way to make that truly satisfying is to do what you believe is great work. And the only way to do great work is to love what you do. If you haven't found it yet, keep looking. You'll know when you find it. And finally, wherever the next step of your journey takes you, I ask of you this: give back to the community, to your workplace, and to your family and friends. Be a champion for causes that make lives better. For me, those causes are fighting to end cancer and also making education accessible to all. Whatever your cause, weave it into your life as a personal passion. On this special day of celebration, let me close by offering my congratulations and best wishes on your journey. Thank you.
Thank you, Chancellor Fukakusa. Now please welcome the university's president and vice chancellor, Mohamed Lashami.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Welcome to our graduates, family and friends, colleagues from across the university community and beyond. Class of 2024, this is an important day for you, and you have our warmest congratulations. Graduation is a special and rare moment, bringing together families and friends, colleagues and communities. Each of us, from our own unique background, represent the diversity of this country and the planet. All of us gathering to share these moments together. We all have our own journey. My journey has taken me from a tiny village in Africa to Canada's largest and most cosmopolitan city. A journey of more than just miles. It has been a journey of discovery about diverse cultures, ideas, different ways of seeing the world, and at the same time, understanding how much we truly have in common. Today, here today, in a time when you often see only differences, let's think about how our individual journeys come together at this moment of celebration and joy. Let this be our inspiration for appreciation that all we share. With that in mind, I will ask that for the next hour or so, we can all use this specific time and energy to acknowledge that what the graduates have accomplished. I'm hopeful that despite the challenges around us in this world, we can all respect one another and respect the importance of why we are gathered here today. Graduates, you now look ahead for a new chapter and a bright future, I'm sure. You have what the world is looking for: talent, energy, and new ideas. I repeat, talent, energy, and new ideas. Let's use these ingredients to get us out of this mess. Your years here have prepared you for this moment. We are so very grateful that you have selected this university, that you immerse yourself in our university community. I hope you are feeling grateful for each other, for the good friends who shared your university experience and are now friends for life. Which brings us full circle. While we may find success as individuals. As a society, we depend on each other. We need loved ones, colleagues, and community. In French, you know, we never say goodbye. Instead, we say au revoir, which literally means until we see you again. Enjoy your very, very special day and stay close to your alma mater. For together, we will shape the future. Thank you.
It is my great privilege to introduce today's speaker. Dr. Katarina Matursky is an exceptional emerging scholar, dedicated nurse, and visionary leader in nursing and interprofessional practice and education. As an assistant professor in nursing at TMU and vice chair of the University Senate, Dr. Matursky is this year's recipient of the President's Award for Teaching Excellence, as she exemplifies excellence in education and practice. Dr. Matursky balances her academic role with hands-on clinical practice as a staff nurse at Toronto Western Hospital. This dual commitment ensures she brings a wealth of real-world experience to her teaching and research. Her research spans international collaborations, the challenges faced by vulnerable populations, and the complexities of intersectionality in care. Her innovative approaches have earned her high praise from students for creating an inclusive and respectful learning environment. Dr. Matursky embodies dedication, innovation, and compassion as she tackles some of the most complex and significant issues in nursing and healthcare. Her immigrant, educational, and professional lived experiences position her as an inspiration to all of us. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Katarina Matursky.
Chancellor Fakakusha, President Lashemi, Provost Yancito Provenzano, deans, esteemed colleagues, and representatives who join us on stage, members of the graduating class, your families, friends, honored guests, it is my pleasure to be with you today. Today, we get to celebrate and share in the joy of you reaching this important milestone in your professional life. Today is the day you can finally see the outcomes of years of rigorous studying and all-nighters, unhealthy amounts of caffeine and chocolate, countless clinical hours and open lab practices, and the need to do that one more revision to your thesis. Each of you have demonstrated dedication, unwavering commitment, resilience, and perseverance to arrive here today, and for that, you deserve an applause. Despite these commonalities in your educational journey, you all had your unique path that led you here today. In preparation for my speech for you, I wanted to reflect on my own journey into nursing. I was born in Ukraine into what was considered a middle-class family. Both of my parents were medical doctors, but they could barely afford to put food on our table. When the Soviet Union collapsed in 1991, it placed my family on a path of difficulty. For a period of time, instead of salary, my parents were paid in flour and sugar equivalents, as this is what the local factories would produce in our town. It forced my father to travel to other surrounding countries for months to years on end so we could make ends meet. I remember only seeing my father for a total of 2 months between the ages of 2 and 8. My mother, sister, and I lived in a small clay house without electricity, running water, or a built-in washroom. And I literally walked 7 kilometers to school one way each day. I remember doing homework under a kerosene lamp every night, and inhaling the fumes from that lamp would make my brain experience fog. In 1996, my father was able to get a visa to visit his uncle in Montreal for a week. However, he was seen as a burden the same day he arrived. Through acquaintances, he was able to find a job close to Toronto, living in a camper van beside a church that he was tasked with building. He would describe stories of eating sandwiches that students from his school group would discard, half-eaten, during their visits to the church. Thankfully, my father was able to apply for landed immigrant status, and we joined him 2 years later. To say that those first few years in Canada were better than our life was in Ukraine is an understatement, but we had food on the table, a small 400 square foot basement apartment, and we were healthy. That is all that mattered. I had to learn English and how to navigate elementary school as a newcomer when I did not dress like them, did not speak like them, and my cultural and religious practices did not match theirs. My parents could not afford the school uniform I had to wear as to the Catholic school that I attended. They got me a green velvet dress that I wore to school daily for 2 years. I did not say anything, but the amount of abuse and bullying I received from students was overwhelming at times. I remember being pulled by my braids, spat at, called names, and hit. I will always recall that cold December day when I sat in the schoolyard corner in a pile of snow, crying into my sleeves, thinking, how much more can I bear? As difficult as that transition to life in Canada was for me, it was even harder for my parents. Their degrees were not recognized here, and my mother had to go to high school at 35 years of age to get the qualifying courses she needed to apply to obtain her higher education. The career my mom chose was nursing. I remember pulling my own all-nighters at 10 years of age, editing my mom's essays for grammar and sentence structure as English became easier for me. It was those long nights that piqued my curiosity about this profession. The patient cases my mom wrote about and shared with us, especially how she was able to critically think and conceptualize solutions to complex patient situations, was so inspiring to me. I wanted to be just like her, and so did my sister, who also graduated from TMU nursing, just like you are all doing today. Thus, as insurmountable as my immigration story of experience was, we survived, and I survived. I obtained my Bachelor of Science in Nursing in 2011 and a Master of Nursing in 2013, both from TMU. I would have stayed with my TMU family, but TMU did not have an option for a PhD in urban health at that time. Now, I'm not recruiting, but for those of you thinking about doctoral studies, we now have a solution for you. I was fortunate to come back to TMU, but now as a professor, when I finished my PhD in 2021. It took me 14 years to reach this dream, but I obtained it at 32 years of age. 2021 was also the year I got to meet many of you as your Year 2 clinical practice lead for the TMU site. To say that my first year as a professor was challenging is an understatement, but witnessing how you all navigated pursuing your academic dreams during the COVID-19 pandemic brought me the strength and the determination to persevere through the curveballs that were thrown our way. Together, we learned how to navigate teaching and learning online, how to engage in virtual clinical. What is that? Sort through our feelings with mandatory vaccination requirements and the isolation that quarantine brought. We were eager to get back to providing in-person clinical care, but also worried what this meant for our family and friends. Together, we supported each other, provided a shoulder, and shared in both the joyous and the difficult moments, as only we could understand what we were going through, academically and clinically, being in a profession that spends the most direct care hours with patients in all care settings. Unfortunately, it took a pandemic for the world to realize the real value of our profession and how without nurses, the healthcare systems would collapse. I hope you carry this thought with you into your career and be proud of the profession you chose and now represent. Now I'm gonna get a little personal. I am a mother of 3 boys, and I wanted to share a conversation that my oldest son once had with a stranger when he was 3 years old. An elderly woman approached Theo at a grocery store, and they engaged in conversation. Eventually, she asked Theo what his parents do for a living. With a straight face, he said, and I swear, "My dad eats, sleeps, and showers, and my mom, she saves lives." For clarification purposes, my husband does work, and he is an accountant. I do apologize to all of the accountants in the room with us today, but this is how a 3-year-old described nursing as a profession. Now, I would be in great trouble if I did not include my 2 other sons in the speech, so I asked Benjamin and Zachary what they wished for all of you today. Ben, the 7-year-old, said, "You all deserve a gold medal." And Zach, who is 5, said, "No, you all deserve the Stanley Cup with the heart in the middle." He is so right. We all need a win and a Stanley Cup in Toronto. Having shared this personal story with you, you need to make me a promise, and that you will never say to anyone, "You are just a nurse." I am guilty of this myself and my earlier career days. When someone would ask me what I did, I would reply, "I am just a nurse." But I want you to refrain from speaking about your profession in such a way, as you are now a nurse, and you should be very proud of this achievement and of your chosen profession. As you leave here today, remember, nursing is a calling. Our profession necessitates lifelong learning and provision of holistic care that values the dignity and humanity of each person in our care. Let your mind guide your judgment, but let your heart guide your hands. Use compassion as your powerful tool. Be open to new ways of thinking and doing, and lead with courage and curiosity. I would also like to take this moment to acknowledge your family and friends that have supported you during your educational pursuits. The sacrifices you all needed to make to provide encouragement, understanding, and guidance was integral to our graduates' success. Today, we celebrate you just as much as we celebrate our graduates. To my esteemed colleagues and your faculty and instructors, thank you for your unwavering dedication to each and every graduate, and for demonstrating patience each time you were asked if the content you just covered would be on the final exam. Your commitment to excellence has positioned our graduates for success, not only in pursuing their degrees, but for their upcoming NCLEX examination and future nursing careers. Graduates, as you walk out of the ceremony today, continue to stay connected with your TMU family and carry with you the lessons learned, the friendships forged, and the passion that led you to nursing in the first place. The world needs your expertise, your kindness, and your unwavering commitment to health and healing. Congratulations, class of 2024. And remember, just like the accountants do, that it's okay to also eat, sleep, and shower when saving lives. Thank you.
Thank you for your inspiring words, Dr. Matursky. As our graduates prepare to come forward, I will take this opportunity to request that you hold your applause until all graduates have crossed the stage. This is not as easy as it looks, so we do, of course, welcome spontaneous outbursts of joy and enthusiasm and even a bit of relief from family and friends. That's all part of your celebration. And importantly, you are a big and wonderful group of nurses. To ensure that all graduates are celebrated equally, we ask that everyone please remain for the duration of the ceremony. I now ask to come forward and thank in advance the university's interim registrar, Sherry Hodges.
Will the graduands please rise if you're able? Chancellor Fukakusa, President Lashemi, Provost Ayanachito Provenzano, honored guests, faculty members, staff, families, and friends of the graduands. I have the honor and pleasure to present graduands from Toronto Metropolitan University's Faculty of Community Services degree programs. Our graduands include all those who are joining us for today's ceremony, as well as those unable to attend who are graduating in absentia. I certify that each has met the academic requirements for the awards that they are about to receive, and that each has been duly approved by Toronto Metropolitan University's Senate. Congratulations to each of you. Please be seated.
Madam Chancellor, I have the honor to present candidates for the undergraduate degrees in the Faculty of Community Services. Bachelor of Science in Nursing post-diploma degree completion. Adebayode Adele. Love Rachel Agbenyo with distinction. Don Elmer Aguiar with distinction. Fumilola Akinpelu. Hifsa Amin. Michelle Arquiza. Rachelle Ayap. Anissa Baksh with distinction. Rosie Basnet. Jana Faye Krisha Batoon with distinction. Angela Bochi with distinction. Alyssa Boire. Elvira Bond with distinction. Cristel Berdeos. Melissa Kaluti with distinction. Maricel Canate with distinction. Nidra Chasto. Yan Ming Chen. Karma Choki. Shireen Chung. Lisa Coverdale with distinction. Nicole Cristobal. Nikki Call. Deborah Lynn de Guzman. Sendinderpal Dylan with distinction. Benedetta Di Girolamo. May Esther Duanar. Nirmala Dotel with distinction. Tololupe Fogbamila with distinction. Abimbola Fagbamiro. Jessica Amya with distinction. Janelle Felipe. Yeda Ferrer with distinction. Jeanette Foss. Tyson Foss with distinction. Chantel Frank with distinction. Anidra Grant. Christiane Gregory with distinction. Sukwant Grewal. Muna Gure. Gita Hamal Basnet. Caitlin Hancock. Likwa Hung. Valmore Hyman with distinction. Blessing Igbinidu with distinction. Uchichi Ike with distinction. And Angela Jaganarain. Rihanna Jagobine with distinction. Maria Anna Janina Hodgson. Pernika Kanagalingam with distinction. Muna Kauri with distinction. Lashini Kolamba Tantrege. Nikki Kowalczyk with distinction. Michelle Kumar. Tanya Lan with distinction. Jose Landaverde. Hong Ping Ma with distinction. Apkirith Magera with distinction. Hasna Magmori with distinction. Alvia Magno with distinction. Megan Mahoney with distinction. Selena Malabo. Jonalyn Mangilea with distinction. Joanna Manlapath. Julian Medina. Christopher Micheletti with distinction. Niveen Mikhail with distinction. Zoe Moreau with distinction. Nemo Mohammed with distinction. Shokri Musa with distinction. Aaron Ness. Huyen Nguyen with distinction. Margaret Olurunfemi Ayudele. Priscilla Ose. Sikulegile Owusu. Mital Panya with distinction. Kirsten Pangan with distinction. Caritzia Pascal. Jada Patel with distinction. Michelle Pearl with distinction. Cassidy Pohl. Jisega Polos with distinction. Victoria Pringle. Jolene Quintos. Alexandria Ramsey. Jean Rangapan. Walter Rebusa. Joanne Roach. Nicole Robinson. Chandresa Ramani. Gurpreet Saib. Marinelle Sampaga. Marsha Samuels with distinction. Rena Sawada with distinction. Marianne Sawchuk. Esther Sedra with distinction. Harsha Sisankar. Camille Shaw. Brianna Shepard with distinction. Catherine Schumann with distinction. Durga Siwal Pant with distinction. Amrit Pal Singh with distinction. Shannon Smith. Begum Sohan. Crystal Faith Sereno. Devi Subedi with distinction. Chidinma Talabi. Fatima Faith Tan with distinction. Alessandra Tanio. Alicia Tepper. Akilu Tesfa Michael, with distinction. Toyin Togunde. Namgyal Sezom, with distinction. Christiana Tuck. Mark Anthony Urdaneta. Nivetha Uthaya-Kumar. Yasaman Vahedi Zadeh, with distinction. Renee Van Lonen, with distinction. Agatha Vo, with distinction. Holly Weissman. Willamincha Westra, with distinction. Chaozin Zhang, with distinction. Bachelor of Science in Nursing in Toronto Metropolitan Centennial George Brown Collaborative Nursing. Adrienne Abalos. Nina Abdella, with distinction. Iman Abdo, with distinction. Rufeda Abid, with distinction. Lubna Abudaba, with distinction. Ariel Adefowukan, with distinction. Zainab Agburu, with distinction. Stephanie Aguila, with distinction. Sabira Alif. Fahad Ahmed. Kaidra Ahmed. Yasmin Ahmed. Narmeen Aim, with distinction. Leah Axelrod. Ifra Ali, with distinction. Maria Almeida, with distinction. Rama Altiti, with distinction. Naya Amin. Christina Amir Kanyan, with distinction. Priyanka Anantaraza. Catherine Anderson. Emily Angumba, with distinction. Andrea Isabel Antonio. Jennifer Apia. Yasmin Arar. Alexander Au, with distinction. Camille Augustin, with distinction. Zilan Aidodu. Rami Aziz, with distinction. Amema Aziz. Izzy Sophia Balazo, with distinction. Giselle Baueta, with distinction. Simi Bashir Ahmed, with distinction. Kate Zanin Bautista, with distinction. Maypet Bautista. Kadisha Benoit. Evie Beta, with distinction. Sahil Bhagat, with distinction. Jessica Bamra. Unesa Bayat, with distinction. Betty Biakpa, with distinction. Ebitimi Bikikoru. Anand Bharat Binapal, with distinction. Imran bin Hariz, with distinction. Mata Boluri, with distinction. Alia Braganza, with distinction. Parneet Bra, with distinction. Isabel Claire Bahyan, with distinction. Ashley Burke, with distinction. Shane Russell Ann Camantigue, with distinction. Jody Campbell, with distinction. Kayla Campbell, with distinction. Mara Alyssa Serdina, with distinction. Daria Sergi, with distinction. Jasleen Chera, with distinction. Anita Chan, with distinction. Dazia Chapman, with distinction. Mira Chada, with distinction. Irene Chen, with distinction. Irene is being congratulated on stage by her dad, Jimmy Chen from nursing. Janice Chen, with distinction. Carol Chen, with distinction. Yi-Ping Chen, with distinction. Sivwar Chiv. Tiffany Chim. Rinzin Choden, with distinction. Tenzin Choyang, with distinction. Jashanpreet Chauhan, with distinction. Christine Choi. Haley Chomondali. Jasmine Chow, with distinction. Chinlin Celine Chu with distinction. Chloe Chung with distinction. Jessica Champa with distinction. Amelia Close Medina with distinction. Amanda Collins with distinction. Ridor Creer with distinction. Daniel Da Costa with distinction. Gazelle Dadvan with distinction. Catherine Davis with distinction. Harsh Deep with distinction. Lorenzo de Lemos. Joseph Del Rosario. Rihanna De Silva with distinction. Angelina Doe. Kim Doe with distinction. Diana Domingo with distinction. Olivia Dorenspleet with distinction. Mofelua Dosumu with distinction. Anusha D'Souza. Hiba El-Ketchen with distinction. Malok Almando. Elisa Encarnacion with distinction. Eunice Jamila Rose Enrique with distinction. Jaira Estrada. John Ray Evangelista with distinction. Caleb Facum with distinction. Isabel Luis Fajardo with distinction. Josie Fan with distinction. Filza Farouk with distinction. Manahil Fatima with distinction. Mishma Benita Felix with distinction. Star Ferguson with distinction. Jerusha Fernando with distinction. Kylie Foldhazi with distinction. Alexi Marie Francisco. Sizofia Gaio. Ola Galashevich with distinction. Caitlin Gare with distinction. Kevin George with distinction. Kayasia George with distinction. Saba Gafuri with distinction. Rowan Galaini with distinction. Juliana Giallo. Navjeet Gill. Taisha Golab. Selena Gonzalez, with distinction. Mariah Goff. Brian Greck, with distinction. Lorelei Guerrero, with distinction. Danielle Galacci, with distinction. Casey Ann Guntang, with distinction. Sophia Garal. Rebecca Gustafson, with distinction. Rahel Habtegabir. Abdur Rahman Hamid. Sandra Hanna. Rudoshi Haq. Nikki Hashem Najad, with distinction. Saedia Samra Hasnain, with distinction. Naheen Hassan, with distinction. Erica Hatton, with distinction. Megan Hayho, with distinction. Eros Albert Hermea. Sarah Hick, with distinction. Tiana Hill, with distinction. Molly Hingorani, with distinction. Christopher Ho. Sheila Ho, with distinction. Anasma Hussein, with distinction. Cecilia Huang, with distinction. Chao Huang. Tasneem Hussein, with distinction. Aaron Huang, with distinction. Laura Jacob, with distinction. Divine Igbinoba, with distinction. Tasmia Ilyas. Mariam Ishak. Aria Ivanova. Vanita Jamwanti. Akanshika Jazwa. Carmela Javier, with distinction. Nicole Javier. Janani Jayasankar. Shavina Jayaraj. Haozin Jiang, with distinction. Lahisha Katheswaran, with distinction. Cheryl Gahan Davita Gamage. Ye-Lin Kang with distinction. Eleftheria Karidakis with distinction. Obeda Karisli with distinction. Ariana Kavianpur with distinction. Irene Kazum. Liam Kendall with distinction. Jessica Keys with distinction. Spugme Kadim. Samiksha Kadka. Fatma Khan with distinction. Emily Kanka with distinction. Joshua Ku with distinction. David Kim. Hannah Kim with distinction. Maria Kodos with distinction. Ophelia Kong. Evelina Corsiva with distinction. Sophia Corsiva with distinction. Milica Kovakevich with distinction. Ashley Kuhn. Cynthia Kulantaiva Devel Ananteva Devel. Sophia Kusalan. Tiffany Kwok with distinction. Amy Kwan with distinction. Winnie Lai with distinction. Julia Lau. Vivian Lam with distinction. Jessica Lamana with distinction. Muskan Laroya with distinction. Lau with distinction. Nomi Lavrukov with distinction. Reagan Leahy with distinction. Ratan Lebana. Unso Lee. Hyo-Yan Lee with distinction. Jennifer Lee. June Lee with distinction. Simon Long with distinction. Shu-Wei Lee with distinction. Janet Lang with distinction. Josh Lang with distinction. Tommy Lin with distinction. Ro Fei Lin with distinction. Ki Ying Liu, with distinction. Vidya Logaraja, with distinction. Alandra Lopez, with distinction. Haley Louvel, with distinction. Tristan Lowe, with distinction. Nicholas Lum, with distinction. Zaifei Lowe. Mackenzie Mott, with distinction. Jessica Macvon, with distinction. Isabel Madarang, with distinction. Antoine Magampon. Yumna Mahmood, with distinction. Nahal Maramnia, with distinction. Irina Magidonska, with distinction. Tanya Mackey, with distinction. Anum Malik. Jenna Mallory, with distinction. Sion Mamo. Sarah Mangaru, with distinction. Caricel Therese Menlosa. Anila Matthews, with distinction. Jaskirat Mavi, with distinction. Allison McGrath, with distinction. Shaylin McIver. Mark Julian Medina, with distinction. Ailid Mufta. Mary May, with distinction. Victoria May, with distinction. Caitlin Mihalov, with distinction. Riley Meisner, with distinction. Sima Modares, with distinction. Amina Mohammed, with distinction. Tasneem Mohammed, with distinction. Brianna Mohammed, with distinction. Desiree Dawn Montano. Hyo Im Moon, with distinction. Alicia Liana Maraski. Sharniya Murugadas, with distinction. Mayorwa Mustafa. Zoya Naeem, with distinction. Christy Na. Nakil Narendran, with distinction. Alicia Narwal, with distinction. Maria Nekifor, with distinction. Mariam Nematpour. Bree Newsome with distinction. Jenny Nguyen with distinction. Julie Nguyen. Lee Hong Kelly Nguyen with distinction. Nicole Nguyen with distinction. Ryan Nguyen with distinction. Ali Nidam with distinction. Dominique Togomo. Samira Noor. Fatima Noor with distinction. Stephen Mesoma Nwosu with distinction. Stephanie Micah Ocampo with distinction. Deborah Olotu with distinction. Sarah Omar with distinction. Prince Rio. Dora Onyakwere. Esther Onyuku with distinction. Jennifer Okindo. Hajar Osadin with distinction. Jason O with distinction. Emily Ouellette with distinction. Lukmana Oasi. Lindsay Padgett. Tareen Paula Pangan with distinction. Ariel Pangilinan with distinction. Diana Papp. Isabella Pardy with distinction. Selena Pasitkaman with distinction. Kushi Patel with distinction. Indrani Paul with distinction. Anthony Perez with distinction. Ariane Perez with distinction. Sarah Perry with distinction. Dan Pham with distinction. Shirley Pham with distinction. Tammy Pham. Isabel Piatek. Anita Perez. Shania Perez Neto. Janice Poe with distinction. Arani Pratapan with distinction. Kendra Pretty. Sierra Provo with distinction. Nila Polido. Simmerpreet Purba. Sandeep Puriwal with distinction. Sajani Bhuvaneswaran with distinction. Sabrina Quattrochaki with distinction. Rita Qureshi. Brandon Raban with distinction. Simin Rahman with distinction. Melissa Rajic with distinction. Raya Ramesh with distinction. Monisha Ramesh with distinction. Eugenie Randall with distinction. Sharamsha R.C. Ivana Reese. Celine Reeve with distinction. Hyo-Wan Ray. Erica Rihamaki. Chanel Romero with distinction. Lorenzo Noah Ruiz with distinction. Catherine Russell Picano with distinction. Sumaya Saeed. Manpreet Saini with distinction. Sabrina Salunga with distinction. Celine Sampoleo with distinction. Marwell Isaac Sanchez with distinction. Navleen Sandhu with distinction. Giovanni Santos with distinction. Chelsea Sapico with distinction. Jyotisha Sadgunaraja. Sagani Satananthan with distinction. Janani Satya Seelan. Mahilini Sativale with distinction. Isha Sebastian with distinction. Jasmine Sebastian with distinction. Simone Sebastian with distinction. Hyacinth Segundo. Sitara Saif with distinction. Sahar Sikandiri with distinction. Balkaran Sekon with distinction. Amna Shabazz. Rehman Shahid. Sana Sheikh with distinction. Nida Shamsi with distinction. Tarun Sharma with distinction. Isabel Shell. Amara Sheriffdeen. Michaela Sherman with distinction. Rimsha Shirazi with distinction. Alexis Silva with distinction. Camille Silva, with distinction. Sarah Simoes, with distinction. Michael Simon, with distinction. Karandeep Singh, with distinction. Sivanthi Sivanasan, with distinction. Alisa Nolene Solano, with distinction. Abisha Surya Kumar, with distinction. Connor Sorley, with distinction. Kaylee Ann Sotile, with distinction. Alana Souza, with distinction. Kavya Srikandaraja, with distinction. Tachageni Srivankakumar. Sophia Strish. Samuel Su. Mudan Suleiman, with distinction. Tiffany Sum. Tiana Sumich. Fatima Syed, with distinction. Ikra Syed, with distinction. Natalie Shevchik, with distinction. Ryan Galen Tabula. Jasmine Tagar, with distinction. Jasmeet Tahim, with distinction. Rojeen Tahiri. Sophia Tameo. Cindy Tang, with distinction. Riwa Tanir. Catherine Tat, with distinction. Yasmin Tawako, with distinction. Santana Testani, with distinction. Christine Chu, with distinction. Alana Tran, with distinction. Mai Tran, with distinction. Nguyen Mia Tran, with distinction. Tuyet Ni Trong. Gracie Opal. Arkamal Opal. Sakrup Opal, with distinction. Chelsea May Urcia, with distinction. Elijah Isaac Valdez, with distinction. Angela Vanderbeck, with distinction. Samantha Isabel Vargas, with distinction. Samantha Vasilopoulos. Angelica Vasquez Pino, with distinction. Julia Vasallo, with distinction. Taylor Velasco, with distinction. Marivic Victorero, with distinction. Naomi Viloria, with distinction. Leah Grace Visitacion. Huang Yan Vu, with distinction. Connor Waite, with distinction. Sarah Wilson, with distinction. Madeline Wong, with distinction. Zoe Wong. Sung Woo, with distinction. Sophie Z, with distinction. Darrell Yi, with distinction. Rebecca Yu, with distinction. Manuel Steven Zagada, with distinction. Kali Zhang, with distinction. Carmen Zhang, with distinction. Mei Lan Zhang, with distinction. Terry Zhang, with distinction. Sunny Zhou, with distinction. Yvonne Zhou, with distinction. Madam Chancellor, I have the honor to present candidates for the graduate degrees in the Faculty of Community Services, Master of Nursing. Christopher Bari. Emily Botello. Cara Carmacho. Carly Campbell. Laurel Chan. Kavina Chandrasekaran. Timothy Chang. Connie Chung. Samar Davarpana. Samar is also receiving a primary healthcare nurse practitioner certificate. Zara Dalawala. Tile Doma. Vivian Fu. Liat Hall Chippy. Carolyn Horn. Julia John. Marita John. Raquel Lashley. David Liu. Emma McDougall. Tiana Negovan. Mary Ann Olalia. Cassie Ein Pamaran. Nilab Karizada. Brittany Ramkalawan. Roseanne Ramos. Gurkirat Sahota. Arunvir Sharma. Nicolette Sheridan. Vipinjit Warej. Madam Chancellor, that concludes the presentation of today's graduates.
Hello, TMU grads. I'm Jen McMillan, Vice Provost students, and I'm so happy to share this special moment with you. Every one of you set a major goal for yourself. And today, after years of hard work and sacrifice, we honor all that you've accomplished. Your degree is a celebration of the courage it took to get you here, of the hard work and dedication you've demonstrated inside and outside of the classroom, of the breakthroughs that have helped mold you into the person you've become, and of the community you've found along the way. Your degree represents more than just the assignments you've completed and the exams that you've written. The student groups, the passion projects, the events and the games, they all represent the many ways you helped build this community that will live on well past graduation. Whether your families, friends, and supporters are near or far today, I know they are celebrating this achievement with you. You've completed something significant, and great opportunities await you. As you enter this next phase of your lives, I challenge you to keep growing and using your unique voices to change the world. Never be afraid to be courageous, to be loud, and to be bold. Finally, thank you for choosing us. We're so proud that you'll forever be a part of the TMU community.
Today is about celebrating how far you've come.
And we'd like to take this opportunity to talk about how far you're going to go.
You have become a part of something bigger.
Graduating from TMU is a major milestone.
I still remember exactly how I felt when I was in your seat on this very day. I definitely had a mixture of emotions.
I was just really very proud.
At Convocation, I felt very prepared for my career, but very excited, but also a little sad.
Quite optimistic.
Nostalgic.
I felt excited and I felt prepared.
Walking across that stage at Convocation meant that I fulfilled personal goals, but I also fulfilled the goals of the family, and that was really important.
As much as it was the end of the chapter, it was actually the start of something great.
And I had so many questions, like, how am I gonna make my big dreams come true?
Do I have it all figured out?
How am I gonna come back?
So it was party time, but also you got some work to do down the road. Start thinking about it.
As a member of the TMU alumni community, we are here to show you that you have a safety net.
As TMU alumni, you are part of a supportive network of people
who are committed to lifting each other up and helping each other grow.
Today,
tomorrow,
and always.
So just take a deep breath.
Enjoy this moment.
And remember, we're here to support you.
And we can't wait to see what you go on to accomplish.
Oh, they should buy the picture frame. Buy the picture frame.
Please welcome Provost and Vice President Academic Roberta Yanchito Provenzano.
Thank you very much, Dr. Burton. Welcome guests, esteemed faculty and staff, proud parents, and above all, graduates of the class of 2024. It is a tremendous honor to stand before you on this momentous occasion. Today we gather to celebrate not just the culmination of years of hard work, dedication, and perseverance, but also the beginning of new journeys, new challenges, and new opportunities. You are now making the transition from students to alumni, from learners to leaders, although many of you are already leaders, and from aspirants to achievers. Congratulations. We've all had the privilege of witnessing your journey, each step marked by growth, resilience, and a relentless pursuit of knowledge. We've seen you navigate the complexities of academic life, balance the demands of rigorous coursework with extracurricular passions, and overcome unprecedented challenges, especially those posed by a global pandemic and the events of the world. Your adaptability and determination have been nothing short of inspiring. As we bring today's convocation ceremony to a close, I would like us to reflect on the experiences that have led to this moment. Graduates, your time at TMU has prepared you for a world that is ever-changing and increasingly interconnected and increasingly complex. You have been equipped with the skills, knowledge, and critical thinking necessary to thrive in your chosen field. More importantly, you have learned the value of community, collaboration, and innovation. These are the pillars upon which our university stands and the values that will guide you as you step into the future. As you embark on this next chapter, I encourage you to embrace the unknown with confidence, with boldness and curiosity, every day challenging the status quo. The world is full of possibilities, but it also presents complex challenges that require not only creative, but compassionate solutions. Whether you're entering the world of business, in your case, nursing, healthcare, the arts, remember that you have the power to make a difference. Your education has given you the tools to not only succeed, but to lead, to inspire, and to transform. I would also like to take a moment to acknowledge and thank the families, friends, and mentors who have supported you throughout this journey. Let's take a moment to express our gratitude to those who have been with you every step of the way. Your achievements today are a testament to their unwavering support and belief in your potential. As you leave TMU, carry with you the lessons learned, the friendships forged, and the memories created. Stay connected to your alma mater, for you are now part of a vibrant and dynamic network of TMU alum who are making a true and meaningful impact around the world. In closing, I would like to share a quote from Maya Angelou. You can't use up creativity. The more you use, the more you have. So let this be a reminder that your potential is limitless and your capacity to innovate and create is boundless. Congratulations, class of 2024. We are incredibly proud of you and excited to see the remarkable contributions that you will make to the world. Go forth with confidence, courage, and the knowledge that you will always be a part of the TMU family. Thank you.
I would like to thank all the staff, the volunteers, the faculty here today who helped make this ceremony a wonderful experience for all. Graduates and guests, once again, congratulations from everyone at the university, and I hope you continue to enjoy this very special day. As we close, I now welcome Catherine Rowan from the Office of the Dean and the Faculty of Arts to sing the national anthem. For those who are standing, please remain standing until all of our graduates have left the arena. Graduates, please follow our arena marshals who will usher you to the 4th floor to join your family and friends. Thank you for celebrating with us today.